Strategic planning. A brief introduction. The most widely used representation to strategy is that of a chess game. In every move that you take, you also consider the probable outcomes of the competitor's move. The success of a business lies not only on making profit, but also in sustaining it. And that is only possible when businesses can achieve an edge over the competitors. Businesses can achieve that edge by building competitive advantage, by utilizing their capabilities and resources. The concern lies in sustaining that competitive advantage to ensure its existence in the market. The organization tries not only to sustain its competitive advantage, but also adapts and modifies it with respect to the changing environment to maintain its competitive edge. And this can only be achieved by planning for the future. Often such planning is called strategic planning. An organization does strategic planning for its near future, which is why it is often termed as long-term planning. Such planning are huge exercise and need detailed analysis of many factors, internal and external to a firm, and thus requires huge investment and often are decisions which are not so easily reversible without substantial time and capital loss. The strategic planning done without thinking about the future implications and changes expected will definitely result in a failure. Thus, successful strategy management, that is, the process of strategic planning, will require the analysis of the external and internal environment along with the understanding of the current strategy and future strategic moves. Firms often compete with each other to gain their customers' attention and businesses. While doing so, each firm tries to chalk out its unique strategy or game plan based on its internal strength and weaknesses in terms of which products or services to pursue, which investment to make, which human resource policy to implement, and which organization structure to adopt. The whole exercise is meant to find out how to effectively compete against whom, when, where, and for what, so that the firm can generate successful performance over an extended period of time. The essence of strategy lies in striking harmonious balance between a firm's distinct skills and capabilities and the external environment in which it operates. When a firm is able to perform activities more effectively than its rival, it stays ahead in the race and emerges as a leader. The necessity for planning arises because of the fact that business organizations have to operate, survive, and progress in a highly dynamic environment where change is the rule, not the exception. The change may be sudden and extensive, or it may be slow and almost imperceptible. The rapid advance in technology, global competition, changing preferences of customers, changing policies of government have multiplied problems of managers all over the globe. Successful managers try to visualize the problems before they turn into emergencies. Managers charged with the responsibility of achieving definite targets do not wait for the future. They introduce original initiatives by removing present difficulties, anticipating future problems, changing the goals to meet internal and external challenges, experimenting with creative ideas, attempting to shape the future and creating a more desirable environment. Planning is the process of deciding in advance what should be accomplished and how it should be realized. It involves selecting objectives and how to achieve them. Strategic planning is a type of planning. But unlike short-term planning, strategic planning involves an extended time frame, the deployment of a large percentage of the resources of an organization, a wide spectrum of activities, and a major eventful impact. Let's look at some of the popular definitions of strategic planning. The definition given by Alfred Chandler concerns with the determination of the basic long-term goals and objectives of an enterprise and the adoption of courses of action and allocation of resources necessary for carrying out these goals. William Glueck. It is a stream of decisions and actions which lead to the deployment of an effective strategy or strategies to help achieve corporate objectives. Decisions and actions which determine whether an enterprise excels, survives, or dies. Hayes and Will write, strategic planning is planning that is long term, wide ranging, and critical to organizational success in terms of the costs of the resources it affects and the outcomes it envisions. Why strategic planning? In order to answer that question, we have to understand that no business can afford to get ahead without a clear map of where it wants to go and why. Strategic planning provides the roadmap for the firm. It serves as a comprehensive guide. It provides the big picture to all employees of the organization. By defining the mission of the organization in specific terms, it helps the manager provides direction and purpose to organizational efforts. Some of the benefits of strategic planning are it provides a roadmap for the firm. It shows the way for achieving targets. Point number two, it helps the firm utilize its resources in the best possible manner. It allows more effective allocation of time and resources for identifying opportunities. Point number three, the firm can respond to environmental changes in a better way by exploiting opportunities to its advantages and avoiding costly mistakes in investment decisions. Point number four, it creates a framework for internal communication among personnel. It helps to integrate behavior of individuals into a total effort. Strategic planning is essentially done at three levels in an organization. The first level is corporate level strategic planning. It is the process of defining the overall character and purpose of the organization, the business it will enter and leave, and how resources will be distributed among those businesses. Strategy at this level is typically developed by top management. The decisions are broad based, carry greater risk, and affect most parts of the organization. The second level is the business level strategic planning. It is the planning process concerned primarily with how to manage the interest and operations of a particular unit within the organization, commonly known as strategic business unit. A strategic business unit is a distinct business with its own set of competitors that can be managed reasonably independently of other businesses within the organization. Point number three, the functional level strategic planning. It is the process of determining policies and procedures for relatively narrow level of activity, different functions of an enterprise like marketing, finance, personnel, etc. These are developed by functional managers and are typically reviewed by business unit heads. Coordinating strategies across the three levels is crucial in maximizing strategic impacts. What strategic planning is not. Peter Drucker has provided an interesting account of what strategic planning is not. Point number one, it is not a box of tricks, a bundle of techniques. It is analytical thinking and commitment of resources to action. Point number two, it is not just mere forecasting. Forecasting merely points to a range of probabilities, whereas strategic planning helps in tracking down fruitful opportunities and developing appropriate strategies to achieve them. Point number three, strategic planning is not an attempt to eliminate or minimize risk. It only helps in choosing rationally among risk taking courses of action rather than plunging into uncertainty on the basis of hunch, hearsay, or experience, no matter how meticulously qualified.